Haha, you guys like how I made you believe that I was just making a pun and it wasn't actually a teaser. Lamau. I hope you guys enjoyed the cover. It was so wild to work on, and I'm so happy that it's finally out. It's a little bit past the intended date that I was actually going to release it. I actually wasn't there for the premiere because I set it up and then I went to bed. I set an alarm too to wake up. But after I woke up, I was like, oh, I still have a little bit of time. And you know, every time you do that, it's over. You say like, oh, I got a few minutes left, and then you wake up again, and it's like hours after. So I made a mistake, but nonetheless, I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that a lot of you cried. Finally, an official Psyborg cover, but it had to be, you know, the timing had to be now. And some of you even clocked it too, that during the instrumental break, I sang bits of his original songs. The after party stream that we need, yeah, I was thinking about that too. I don't usually have like after party streams when I release covers. I just put them out and then, you know, that's kind of it. But maybe I should, you know, have more of these where we can talk a little bit and just chill after I release something. But I'll think about it. I don't usually do it anyway, but this time it just felt different, obviously. The way I could hear someone laughing at us in his grave so loud and clear, at least you know. Yeah, what a great way to start. Doomed Yowie. You want to know more about the behind the scenes? I never really know what to talk about when people ask about behind the scenes stuff with covers, because it's just like, you know, it just happens. If you really want to like know the breakdown, I'm the one that chose the song and I'm the one that initiated and wanted to do it. Especially with the knowledge, you know, of what was to come. And I wanted to make it as easy for him as possible, since I didn't really want him to do any extra work. So I just told him to sing, you know, the parts that I separated, and I took care of the rest in terms of singing the other parts and also harmonizing. All the harmonies are me, and of course the ad-libs during the instrumental break. And, you know, the people I usually work with on a lot of covers coming through for me as always. Thank you, Vesen, for always mixing my things, and also Eddie for coming through for me many times. Oh yeah, that last part. The last part where he sings an octave higher, I actually didn't tell him to do that. He did it on his own. He came up with it, going an octave higher. He really did go crazy with that, yeah. He wanted it to end with a bang. He wanted the impact to be strong. And it sure was, especially when I listened back to it. I was like, what the fuck? When did you do that? Yeah, he did do amazing, didn't he? Yeah, I saw somebody tweet about it. They were saying how the first and last times people heard his voice was on my channel. First time was that narration in Deja Vu, and last time was this cover. I actually didn't realize that until, you know, I saw the tweet and I was like, oh, that is very true. Yeah, but thank you all so much for showing it so much love and support. Yes, it was my idea to hum the original songs during the instrumental break. I didn't even tell him about it, actually. I just did it. I wanted to incorporate it in some way. I knew that. I just had to figure out what parts would make sense musically. Yeah. I actually don't know if he realized, because he never mentioned it. Or maybe he did realize and he just, just internalized it on his own. You know he's not crying. You know that he's probably like pointing and laughing and being like, Lamau, everyone cry. Yeah, smug as fuck as usual. As always, how else would we remember him? Of course, I still keep in contact with him. That will never stop. Oh my god, I forgot about that too. During his like stream where he watched the video. He was window sharing, and then the script that I made was bookmarked in his bookmarks. And it was on the screen there, and I was just like, uh-oh. But I was just like, you know what? I don't care. If people wanna look at it and, come up with their own theories, then that's on them if they want to do that. Yeah, I'm surprised no one said a thing, or at least as far as I know. But I mean, it could have not even come out, and that would have just been like, oh well, maybe that was a project that got tossed to the back. But no, it was active. Yeah, I figured people were too busy crying and being emotional to see what was on in the bookmarks. But there's always those people that, look a little too close. Yeah, he mentioned it already too, that we were like cooking something up. Hopefully it would be done in time. I'm so glad that it's out now. And to be honest, I'm way too tired to be really emotional. So, but also I say that sometimes and then I end up getting emotional anyway, so what is the truth? Somehow I'm always like, I've cried enough tears in my life, but then I prove myself wrong. I couldn't see the tops because I had tears in my eyes. Completely fair. I was kind of hoping that everyone's eyes would be like that. That's how I feel too. I get drained, and then I cry again, and the cycle continues. I rehydrate, and then it gives me enough hydration for more tears, etc. Yeah, my life is just always refilling tears. That's all it is. Somebody just said in chat, sometimes it's better to just cry than hold it in. But sometimes it's like, sometimes it's easier to hold it in because you're so tired, and it's just like you don't have the energy to cry or let things out. And it has to be like a conscious effort to, to like let things out. Yeah, come back next refill. Next time I'm refilled with hydration and have enough energy. It's okay to be a bad bitch and a sad bitch. That's so true. I love the outfits changing idea in the MV. Thank you. Yeah, we were talking about that too. Originally, we were just gonna do one outfit. So I was asking and being like, which one do you prefer? Blah, blah, blah. And working with Eddie, we decided, well, if we're able to, or if they are able to incorporate other outfits, then that would be nice, but no pressure if not. And we were able to put in a lot. So, thankfully.